Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto exposing elites and their misuse of power. Aren't we seeing that right now? As for Mr. Mandelson, we have Saturn Neptune conjunction for this man. It's all about dissolving of official status. So what do I get off of that? Well, I expect a formal move to change the House of Lords policies, probably to allow his expulsion by the end of February. Now, I heard that Keir Starmer was putting him out, was done with him, but I think this has happened before where they were going to get rid of Mandelson and they did not. But I do see something happening by the end of February where he's completely done. He's just done with the Labour Party. He's just done with the UK government as a whole. Then when we get into the testimony trap, there will be extreme, and I mean extreme, pressure on Prince Andrew, I just call him Andrew, to testify. The United States needs him to testify. And what I'm getting astrologically is his sixth house is all about perfection. It's also the year about accountability for what he has done, which is something he has not wanted to do, is show accountability. But you could just think of it as services rendered. While Andrew has refused to admit his wrongs, he's refused to testify. Here's the thing, the political cost for the king, and I'm talking about King Charles, is becoming unsustainable. That's the word I'm getting, unsustainable in my auto rights. Andrew is becoming even more a bigger liability. And as I look at what's going forward into 2026, you have to watch my previous videos to understand this, but Andrew needs to testify. He's going to have to testify if he can make it. And as I sit here and I'm talking about all of this, I'm also seeing Princess Diana's face. Now, I want you guys to understand what happens when someone in a royal family becomes, or a high-powered family, they become a liability, a major liability. They bring stress onto their family members. And in this case, we have King Charles, who's already facing illness. Do you think Prince William is sitting there happy right now? No, he sees Andrew as a liability. And unfortunately, as much as I love and still love Princess Diana, she was a liability to the royal family because of who she was dating at the time. And what happened to Princess Diana? She is no more, allegedly. And also, you'd be surprised, there was also a lot of jealousy. King Charles didn't want her for himself. He was too busy with Camilla, but he didn't want Diana with no one. True story, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. Okay, shall we continue? I'm looking at Prince William here. Wow, oh my God. Prince William was born with Mars conjunct Saturn in his Libra. Do you know what that means? Let me tell you, let me break it down briefly. William doesn't throw tantrums. He doesn't. He waits for the right moment to strike like a snake in plain sight. And right now, what I'm getting, especially with all this new information coming out with the Epstein files and the connections, many connections that Andrew had. Oh, many. We'll get into that here at the end of the video. Right now, Prince William is a pressure cooker. Bloody pressure cooker. He is livid, but he knows how to self-contain himself with that Mars conjunct Saturn in the sign of Libra. But when he strikes, it is going to be brutal, bloody, brutal. Let me tell you, Andrew, you know, and I believe that William, he understands, and I know he loves and misses his mothers, but he also knows the protocol. Do you know what I'm saying? The protocol of what could have happened to his mother, but he's not going to retract it. And that's what I say. I'm going to leave it alone. Now, as Pluto moves through the early degrees of Aquarius, trining William's natal Mars, I want you guys to know, especially after February, he is going to make permanent changes. And what I keep feeling off of that, with that natal Mars and Aquarius, and you have some Neptune, but mostly that Mars, it's all about the vanishing act. Pay attention to what I'm saying. The vanishing act. That is the energy. Why? Because Andrew has really, really done it now. King Charles is feeling the wrath. He's not doing well health-wise. This is extra burden on him. And William is very protective over his family. And I'm telling you, don't be surprised if something happens to Andrew. And I'm not saying that William did it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Just say it's karma. Let's just say that. It's karma. He could, just be gone. I don't know. He may not even get to testify. Or he may testify. Just saying. Prince William is not going to manage Andrew's problems like they've been managed. He's not going to do that anymore. He wants to delete them. Oof. Yeah, he wants to delete them. So if Andrew survives, meaning if he doesn't harm, do self-harm, or get into an accident, William is going to make sure Andrew is purged from all royal assets. That's what I'm getting. And I connect pretty well with Prince William, believe it or not. More than I do with the rest of them in the family. Also, William supports the fall of Mandelson. So he's looking at Mandelson and what's happened to Mandelson as necessary to rid of the old guard networks. So a lot of people don't like William. I personally think he's an okay guy. I'm sure he has a little shadow side to him. But he's there to break the curse of that family, and I'm going to carry on. Then you ask me who could replace Mandelson. I don't know. Somebody mentioned a few names, but here's what I'm saying. A man named Christian, which is interesting. That's my daughter's soon-to-be husband's name. A man named Christian could replace Mandelson. Because this man I'm referring to, he brings in Saturnian energy, which is all about corrective, bringing in correct and making changes for the good. So he's going to bring that in. Basically, he's cleaning up the Neptunian mess left by Mandelson himself. It could be another person, okay? But it's going to be someone who brings in that Saturn energy if it's not Christian. But he is coming through as a hit for me. Doesn't mean he's going to get it. I don't keep up with the UK politics. I have no clue who is running or who is even able to take that position if it comes open. And it won't be right now anyways. It'll be a few weeks or whenever they choose to replace Mandelson permanently. I do believe by the end of February, though, that's a done deal. Also, I'm getting something with lesser royals, say around the 90s era, are going to be reinvestigated. Minus Charles and his kids, or I could say Charles and William. And for some reason, I know that Harry is younger than William, not by much, but he's younger. I don't know what it is, dude, but I'm sorry, let me tell. I can't get a clearance. My energy field will not clear Harry out from any of this. And I know he was young. So what the hell is going on? Surely he's not tied into Epstein. But I wonder if he's tied into something else. Maybe it's not as nefarious. Maybe that's a different remote view session or a auto write I could work on one day. But right now, I got my hands full. So then we have Pluto in Aquarius, right? This is about bringing in unfiltered data. These names can no longer hide. So whoever's connected to the lesser royal family, I'm getting the 90s era or even the early 2000s. But again, I don't feel like this is Charles or William. I'm going to mention a few names. Steve Bannon, I've spoke about him before. Bill Gates, spoke about him before, and there's issues about Musk. Sarah Ferguson are mentioned in the new files. I will tell you, I get that Elon Musk knew of Epstein. I do not feel that he's connected to Epstein list as far as being involved doing nefarious things. But I mean, he had money, he has money, and so did these other circle elites, and I feel like he's tied into them that way. Gates, I had mentioned that he would end up losing his land and things are going to happen to certain people. But let's talk about Sarah. Sarah, Duchess of York. Oh yeah, not an innocent person. She's going to lose everything. She already has lost a lot of things. She'll lose more. But before she does, she's going to do a TV interview or some type of memoir. I see that. I see her coming on trying to save face. We also have that Neptunian fog around Sarah as well. And she feels all the blame is being shifted on her while Andrew allegedly moves into a smaller estate on Sandringham. Did I say that right? Sandringham. I don't think that he's going to, well, he might move into something else, but I tell you, things aren't looking good for Andrew, so I don't even want to put a prediction out there that he would move into a smaller estate, and I'm going to spell it Sandringham. But Sarah is thinking that she's getting the blame for everything. So here we go. By late spring, we have that Aries point. I believe Sarah will have, she's going to have to find a home outside the royal circle. And I'm seeing, or what I could say, expect a interview by June. So you can expect an interview by June, and Sarah will distance herself. I feel like she's going to distance her brand from Andrew's, if that makes any sense to you guys. What I was getting, I don't know if they're connected and they have something together they work on, but I do expect her to do an interview by June, July of 2026, and then I see Sarah distancing herself completely, her brand from Andrew's entirely, in order to survive. And I mean financially survive. She's going to completely break away from him. You won't hear her on TV or in her recordings, "Oh, just marry me." And there was rumors of a secret child. And yes, there is a secret child that belongs to Epstein, and it's a boy. And Andrew has knowledge of all of that information as well. Okay, so now while Mandelson is the most prominent figure to fall so far, I do see at least two or three other high-ranking peers. One could be from the House of the Lords, and one is a former cabinet minister. I just want to say so bad who it is, but I'm not. Former cabinet minister. And there's a few other names. Boris Johnson. Again, Steve Bannon is very significant. And Nigel Farage. Political scandal there, possibly for him, for the reform. But it's more rumor with him and with Boris Johnson. It's more rumor, and I feel like it's business ties. Again, it's not anything nefarious. But they all have money. They're all in the circle of elites, so their names are going to arise. Another thing, listen to this one. They say Tony Blair. Spirit says Tony Blair, 10 Downing Street. Excuse me. Can't read my own auto-write. 10 Downing Street. And this goes back to 2002. Then we have Somaiwood. Somaiwood Studios. I have no clue. Somaiwood Studios. Mandelson and a man named Sultan Ahmed are connected. That is a yes. There is going to be some more about that. Mandelson, I spoke on him in a prior video of mine, and not a good guy. Would not leave him alone with nothing of mine. And I'm just going to say it, and I just did. Then we're going to hear some news about the Rothschilds, the TRT world analysis. Names are going to surface from that. So be listening out around February 20th or after. And there's going to be a link. Did you guys hear about the invisible man that's connected to Andrew? I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. The invisible man. Well, that's the code name for this person, the invisible man. He's real. He exists. He's not invisible. He is, in fact, connected to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. Is by chance, guys, the invisible man a senior British financer who facilitated these offshore Somaliland meetings? Somaliland. Somaliland. Or is it pronounced Somaliland? S-O-M-A? I don't know. Oh, and let me ask you guys this. Who do you think Andrew was crouching over? Who was this woman and why? Well, let me just say she's from Russia. She's not a minor, I don't think, but she's from Russia. I was getting that. Okay, so on or right after February 20th, 2026, at least 2 or 3 more names are going to come to light, and we're going to hear all kinds of things about what we've already learned, just additional information, and that's what I have to say. What I speak on is not factual. It is for entertainment purposes only because YouTube said so, and that protects my butt. Okay, thanks for listening.